we need to turn things around the way a certain Arizona football team has turned things around. And so that is where we will lead into next, because that is today's Daily Special.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
I'm taking no further questions on the Schubert 6. So if you call in at 480-864-1060 to try to get in and talk about the Schubert 6, no thank you. Those phone calls rejected. We will not be doing it here on the show today. What we will be doing a lot of on the show today is a conversation about your Arizona Cardinals moving to 6-4, staying in first place in the NFC West, and doing so in convincing fashion, doing so in dominating fashion. I was there in the building with my father, who flew all the way from the East Coast to participate, to watch this game, and it was uncompetitive for him. We at no point did the Jets have any chance of winning that football game, because the Arizona Cardinals utterly dominated the New York Jets, and domination has been the name of the game the last couple of weeks for the Cardinals at home. 2 straight weeks in particular with what they did with the Bears a week ago. They have just been utterly dominant. Doesn't matter the talent disparity that you might think the Arizona Cardinals have. It might not matter the opponent that they are facing. The Arizona Cardinals are playing dominating, convincing football right now, and they've done so for the 2nd straight week. They have done so for what is now the 3rd straight home game. You look at a team that has dominated Justin Herbert, that has dominated Caleb Williams, that has dominated Aaron Rodgers. It has been incredibly impressive what this team has been able to do, and sort of bucking the trend of our statistic, because there were 3 players that tied with 5 targets: Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., and James Conner. So it does count for the statistic, but they didn't have to throw the ball all that much. Kyler Murray, remember, 20 pass attempts the week before, a little bit more this week, 24 pass attempts, completed tied a franchise record, or beat a franchise record with 17 consecutive passes completed. Just domination. Domination from the word go, domination up front in the trenches, and everything we warned you about on Friday, everything that we looked into the crystal ball and said, this is why the Arizona Cardinals will win a football game this weekend. This is why the Arizona Cardinals will move to 6-4 and be in first place, came true. They dominated up front. That defense showed up in a big way, and the Jets are who they've been for the entirety of the season, not just what was in the second half against the Houston Texans. That was what happened yesterday. The New York Jets continued to be a bad football team, and the Arizona Cardinals continue to do what they do to bad football teams. They chew them up and they spit them out. The Bears lost to the Patriots this past weekend. The Bears, not a good football team. You know what? The Cardinals took care of business against the Bears. The Jets coming in here, yeah, I know you beat the Texans. Great. Chewed up, spat out in the 4 o'clock window yesterday on the East Coast, the 2 o'clock window here. Spat out. James Conner was so dominant catching passes out of the backfield, he only carried the ball 12 times for 33 yards. Trey Benson, 6.2 yards per carry, 10 carries for 62 yards. He led the way on the ground, 147 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns for the Arizona Cardinals, who were just utterly dominant. Their first punt didn't come until the 4th quarter of the football game. These are the drives that the Cardinals had before the punt. This is all before the punt in the 4th quarter. 6-play, 70-yard touchdown drive to open the game. 9-play, 70-yard, take 5 minutes off the clock, touchdown drive. 10 plays, 70 yards, 6 minutes off the clock, touchdown. To end the half, 10 plays, 49 yards, 4 minutes off the clock, field goal. Scored on every drive in the first half. Open up in the second half, 10 plays, 88 yards, 6 minutes off the clock, touchdown. And then you had the drive with the punt that was still a 6-play drive, and then the last drive of the game, which was the end of the game. They went on a 7-play drive, killed off the final 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Utter domination. Utter domination from the Arizona Cardinals, who, if you are choosing to not take seriously at this point, I don't know what you're missing. They are a tiebreaker away from being the 3 seed in the NFC right now. A 3 seed. They have the same record as the Atlanta Falcons at 6-4. The only difference is Atlanta 4-2 in the conference. The Cardinals 3-3 in the conference. That's the difference. That's the tiebreaker. A team that had 406 total yards of offense, that again had a quarterback complete 17 straight passes, didn't turn the ball over, played another clean game, and We talked all last week. Got to get another pass rusher. Got to add to this group. You can't just rest on your laurels. You can't have this group be your group. They only had 3 sacks. Xavier Thomas, Jesse Luketa, Budda Baker were your only sacks in this game. But you know what? Didn't matter. They were still dominant. This group that we said we think is going to run out of gas is entering their bye week, winning 4 in a row, winning 5 of their last 6. So at some point, we have to face the reality that is in front of us, that they just continue to find ways to dominate the opposition. And I know what you might say, when they face the Lions in the postseason, or when they face the Eagles in the postseason, or the Commanders, one of these good teams in the postseasons, they'll be exposed. Are we all of a sudden talking about this team being a NFC championship contender? Are we all of a sudden talking about this team being a Super Bowl contender? No, that's not the conversation we're having. The conversation we're having today are the Arizona Cardinals a playoff team? And unequivocally, the answer is yes. They are 6-4. They've won 5 of their last 6. And the schedule for them the rest of the way is extremely favorable. And if they are going to beat up on the Patriots, the Panthers, at least one time the Seahawks, the way that they have dominated the Bears, the Jets, if they're going to continue to do that, this team is going to touch double-digit wins. They are 6-4. If they play the way that they played today or yesterday and the way that they played last week, if they play that way when they go to Seattle in 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about a 7-4 Cardinals team. If they bring that style when they play the Patriots and Panthers, you can add 2 more wins to the win total. What about this team? Other than you think that they're going to run out of gas. That's the only thing you have at this point. Kyler Murray is playing good football. He is playing smart, quality football. Is he wowing you? Is he going to be the top of your fantasy league every week in terms of quarterback points? No, he is not going to do that. He is playing winning, smart, complementary football. That is what this Cardinals coaching staff has asked of him, and he is doing it. He is stepping up in a big way. If he's going to continue to do that, if this defense is going to continue to overplay the talent disparity that they're going to have on a regular basis, if they're going to continue, they haven't a lot of touchdown in 10 plus quarters or something. It's been unbelievable what they've been doing. What is to tell you that this is going to stop other than you think that they're going to run out of gas? And so far, they haven't, and they are going to hit their bye week. So they're going to fill up the tank. And I was the first person to say, I don't think they did enough. And I worried about the conversation we were going to have. But if they are going to continue to play this way, then we will no longer have to have those conversations.